So, this letter that we saw here was made around in 2020. And this was Phil Spencer wanting to buy Nintendo, Microsoft buying Nintendo. Because as you know, Microsoft has no talent, they can't make great games, and they have to buy out every company. So he says here, Takeshi, I totally agree that Nintendo is the prime asset for us in gaming, and today gaming is our most likely path to consumer relevance. I've had numerous conversations with the LT of Nintendo about tighter collaboration and feel like if any US company would have a chance with Nintendo, we are probably in the best position. The unfortunate or fortunate for Nintendo's situation is that Nintendo is sitting on a large pile of cash. They've always been really good with having a lot of money in Nintendo. They have a lot of it's rainy day type money because of the Wii U. Like the Wii U is a good example of why they have a large pile of cash in case something goes wrong. They have a BOD that until recently has not pushed for further increases in market growth or stock appreciation. So the former Microsoft member Value Act has been heavily acquiring shares of Nintendo. Boo. And he's kept in touch with Mason Mofford as he's been inquiring. It's likely he'll be pushing for more from Nintendo stock, which could create opportunities for us. Without that catalyst, I don't see an angle to a near-term mutual agreeable merger of Nintendo and Microsoft, and I don't think a hostile action would be a good move, so we are playing the long game. 60 billion. Yeah, which is like 60 billion, but the IPs are worth like tens of billions. So that's probably where the real money is. So how dare they? Like a hostile takeover. Could you imagine that? That would probably be the biggest gaming news event ever. Tim and Dale. I think even Sony fans would be upset. Most gamers would never want Nintendo to be sold off to another company. And plus, there's too much pride in Japan as well. Like they just would never. It would just never happen. It's like someone trying to buy Samsung. It's like a treasured national company. What was the rest of the conversation that I missed out on? Asked Amy Sada if they wanted me to slow either or give both of them the TikTok discussions, and they told me no, they are fine doing all three. The deal makes sense. So it looks like they were looking to get Xeno, which I think they did buy that company, that one. Warner Brothers they were looking at is IP ownership. We wouldn't own any of the IP, which hurts long-term flexibility, and the only obstacle is variation expectations. Yeah. This was like a few months after Animal Crossing New Horizons came out, and that sold like a bajillion amount of copies because that was the only thing you could do in the world. Like everyone was trapped indoors. So that's what I'm saying. But God, I mean, I'm sure that there's a lot of conversations between businesses. Now you're wondering what my voice is dying because I'm unwell. Are you wondering that, Tim? But this letter came out during the court case of Microsoft and the merger with Activision. So you're wondering how did this highly sensitive, letter get it wasn't leaked, it was basically just put into the court case. They're even looking at buying TikTok, which is just weird. Yeah, it's just bizarre, this letter. And saying getting Nintendo will be a career moment. And I honestly believe a good move for both companies. And he obviously believes that, Nintendo should not be making hardware. And should just be like a software developer. I think that what makes Nintendo special is their hardware. Because like, with every innovator, sure, they're going to have like a Wii U or Virtual Boy that blows up in their face. but then you wouldn't have something like the Switch or the Wii or the Nintendo DS or even the 3DS that was ended up being successful in the end. And innovations like all the innovative, crazy stuff that they've done over the years that worked out well. Nah, they would never want to be bought out. I think that most of the workers would just basically quit and walk out and start their own company. I think that would be it. I think that would be rough. But yes, for those watching at home in this pre-recorded video, Nintendo would never be sold to Microsoft. I think this was more of a fever pipe dream sort of conversation. And Microsoft will just have to learn how to, actually create games themselves and do stuff. But yes, there you go. But tell us your thoughts in the comments, what you think about Microsoft after all these years still pining and hoping to buy out Nintendo. So that's it for me, and I'll see you next time.